Jay Bills from Media Spotlight UK, and I'm here with Mike Edwards in the building. I mean, it's a tough time for me to come up. But I mean, how tall are you to start off with?
6'6".
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. I'm just about reaching 5'9", and that's a struggle for me. So, but I mean, first of all, your debut.
Yeah.
Debut on Misfits.
Debut.
I've seen like footage of you training for a while now. I mean, firstly, how does it feel to be here, to be making your debut on Misfits?
It's a great feeling, you know. I look at this as like a day to just let the muscles relax a bit because the training is not glamorous, you know. So to be here doing media, you know, it's kind of like a pamper day, you know. I'm not on the mitts, I'm not on the bag. I can talk to you guys, so it's nice. We do photo shoots, we look good, you know. So it's a little step away from the usual, which has been for me. It's been a full hustle. So yeah, I'm excited to be here, and it's looking more and more real as we approach closer to the later stage, closer to the calendar. So you know, we're in July now, you know, so
It's already a month away.
yeah. So it's exciting times, and I'm happy to be in this position.
How does it feel to be on the undercard, like, of three of the biggest names on Misfits? You got KSI Slim, Anthony Taylor, pay-per-view. You're part of that conversation. Like, how does that feel when you think about it?
I mean, listen, I was just happy to be at the local and boxing in a regular gym because, like I said, this is my debut. I'm not expecting anything. You know what I mean? So you know, to be on this big card is a big blessing. You know, because like I said, it's I'm like a fish out of water. It's first time I'm going to be putting on the gloves inside the ring. So I'm just grateful to be, you know what I mean, in the equation, and because of that, you know, I feel like, you know, I don't want to miss out on the opportunity. So putting in the work so I can, you know, enjoy the experience just as well as I would like to.
What an impact you're making already, because you're in the Cruiserweight tournament,
Yeah.
and you know you're facing off against Jake Cornish.
Yeah.
I mean, firstly, to be in the Cruiserweight tournament, to potentially be the person that can get the Cruiserweight title along the way. I mean, how does that process for you?
Mate, great question. It's not something I spend too much time trying to process or wrap my mind around it, because I do understand, you know what I mean, like the magnitude and all the external things that bring these things together. And the more I simplify it and stay in my lane, keep my head down, you know, the work will speak for itself. I don't want to get too caught up in all the glitz and glamour, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's I would say it's a brutal sport. So all these things look good, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be facing a guy that's got bad intentions on me, and I got to have bad intentions back. So it's like it's no nice guy in there. So for me, it's just like, again, it's not a walk in the park, but I'm focused on the process, and I believe that with my training group, my coach Boxer Don, and the Iron Boxing Stable, that these guys are true professionals, and they've all got the best interest for me out there, and I feel like they're gonna prepare me the best way.
Well, I mean, there's a whole bunch of fighters along the way, potentially. I mean, you know, Jake Cornish is your target, first of all.
Yeah.
But, you know, you got guys like DTG, Minicon's just been added.
Yeah.
You know, Josh Bruckner, FaZe Temper. You know, you got all these, Le'Veon Bell, you got all these guys that are a part of the tournament.
Yeah.
When you think about it in terms of these guys that you could potentially be facing, I mean, what do you make of them? And then, you know, who would you like to meet during the course of the tournament, should you go on?
As a man, I want to challenge myself. I want the challenge. I want to see how I respond to any opponent, because everyone is going to bring something different. It's like cook food. You know, it's not going to be leftovers. Everyone is going to be bringing their best recipe on the night. So for me, I know, like, I need to be able to have an appetite for each and every one of those fighters. So yes, I know the names, I know the faces, but I'm still focused on what's on my plate right now. You know what I mean? It's making you hungry now, isn't it?
A little bit, but I want to be full. I want to be full a little bit. Is it ideally? There must be some little idea of where you want to go in terms of someone who you want to face down the line. Surely there's a little bit more hunger I can bring.
Good question. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. So right now, let me just get the first one out of the way. Once that first one's out of the way, listen, like it will be a lot more present because I will then know, okay, this is what time it is. You know what I mean? But for right now, you know what I mean? There is no simulation. Yes, I'm sparring, but it's still a pro debut. When those lights are on, it's going to be a different situation. So let's see how I handle that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do fancy my chances. But at the same time, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. Start looking for the next, and then I overlook what's in front of me. So that's kind of the mentality right now. Is just to stay tuned to the task at hand, focus, listen to my coach, and then let the job handle itself.
Well, a few final things from me. You're a content creator, you know, focus on relationship humor. I mean, talk to me about, like, in terms of how you come up with, you know, this sort of content. I mean, it must be sometimes you must think of a topic and think, like, is that a bit too far? But then, just put it out there.
You know what? I think the content that see, relationship is it's an interesting one because we all think about it, but then we like, nah. But those are the ones, it's the things that, you know what I mean, like you face in the regular day-to-day encounters, whether it's with your girlfriend or your wife, even if it's your mom, you know what I mean, or your you know, it's just, these are things that, you know what I mean, your loved ones that you kind of get under their skin without even knowing. And then you know, when you turn the camera on and you reenact a few things, and before you know it, you know, you got millions of people like agreeing or disagreeing. It's
like a relatable thing.
Yeah, you can never really you know, determine how far it's going to go. But, you know, every day I wake up and I see people like, oh, you make me laugh. This is hilarious. This is so us. And I think that's what it's about, because it's a community. You know, we're all human.
Of course, we're all human.
Yeah.
And finally, obviously, you know, main event, KSI, Taylor and Slim. I mean, what do you make of that? Like, it's a big moment, so to say.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, like I've been saying all day, I feel like KSI, he's got a lot. He's not got a lot to prove, but I feel like he's coming back with a vengeance. He wants to be victorious on his homecoming, his fight back, get the ring rust out, but ultimately, like, be back in those W territories. You know what I mean? Taking an L isn't easy, but it forces you to go in the lab and recreate, you know what I mean, a different version of yourself. So I feel like he's chiseling away, working on his weaknesses that he may have, you know what I mean, maybe overlooked in his last camp. So, you know what I mean, I'm a big underdog guy, you know what I mean? So he's going up against two opponents. Regardless, he's an underdog. And I'm going to always back the underdog, especially being the fact that, you know what I mean, he is the big man. You know what I mean? He's set up this whole operation. So now you got to respect that. To be doing that behind the scenes and then be fighting in the scenes is quite cool.
There you go. Well, I mean, it's a pleasure to meet you. I mean, what do you want to say to your fans out there? What can people expect for your fight against Jake? Is there any message you want to send to Jake?
Listen, I want to talk to the fans first. Like, guys, you guys don't know me yet. Get to know me. I'm a nice guy. I'm cool, relatable. If you see me, come holler at your boy. I'm always available. But most importantly, you want to follow me on the socials. Mike Edwards. Aries is my Instagram tag. All platforms, Aries. But get to know my in-ring fight name, which will be Machine Mike. Get familiar with that. But yeah, message to Jake, like I've been saying all morning, am I your type on paper?
And said it from the man himself. I mean, local boy, we just talked off camera.
Yeah.
I'm appreciative that you live not too far from me, so we'll see each other around the corner probably.
We will, man, we will.
Well, Mike, absolute pleasure to meet you, and I wish you all the best for your fight.
All the best with your channels, man.